Welcome to Milken Community Schools Student Experience. I'm Sarah Shulkind, the head of school, and I have the privilege and the honor of being able to lead Milken. Last week was all about your parents, the big ideas of our school, and there was so much to learn from that. But this week is a program aimed directly at our prospective students. So what you'll experience over the next couple of hours will be much more about you. It will be interactive and fun. I want to start by framing a piece of our mission that says that Milken is about who our students can become and how they can help others become who they might be. And I think that this is a really important tenet of who we are and what we stand for. If you come to Milken, you can try a huge range of courses and extracurricular opportunities. You can dive in deep, or you can dabble in lots of different experiences. And I think what's really significant about that is whatever you do, you will have the support of the entire community behind you. On the first day of school last year, we had the whole school together for a town meeting. And we asked all of our new students who were sitting in the front to turn around and face the rest of the school. And in that moment, what we said to them is, look up at the faces. All of the 700 students, all of the teachers, administrators, leaders looking back at you, we are all here rooting for you, supporting you, and being present for you every step of the way. That's what makes Milken special. Here to tell you more from a student's perspective is Kayla Dadbin, a Milken senior who I have known since she was a 4th grade student at Sinai Kiva. It is my pleasure to welcome her, and I wish you all a wonderful morning.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kayla Dadbin, and I am a current senior at Milken. Before Milken, I was at a school that most of you probably know, Sinai. And when I finally made my decision to go to Milken for high school, I was honestly super scared. At the time, I wasn't really sure that I was going to make any friends at school because pretty surprisingly, not that many of my friends were coming to Milken. My main friend group, who I had known since preschool, split up between 3 different schools, which really scared me. So as time went on, I began adjusting to my new school pretty easily. I was seriously very surprised with how easy it was to fit right in. Everyone, including the teachers, were super nice and made me feel as if I had been going to school for so long. One of the main things that I love about Milken is the insane amount of different clubs and electives there are. Because there's such a big selection, it's so easy to find something you truly enjoy. It's also a great way to find friends because you find people who are also interested in the same subjects as you. The classes and electives can range all the way from sewing, journalism, speech and debate, to even engineering, science research, and photography. I'm a part of the science research program, and never in a million years did I think I was going to be a part of a neuroscience lab at UCLA. It honestly really shows that no matter what you're interested in, Milken somehow is something you would like. Also, being a foodie myself, one of the main things I really love about Milken is the food. Our Milken Mart always has the best snacks and is always filled with so many different options. Not to mention, Milken has the biggest selection of lunches: tacos, schnitzel, sushi, chicken fingers, and even your very own salad and sandwich bar. And trust me, there's more. I also really love how many sports there are. I have not only been a part of the volleyball team, but tennis and soccer as well. At the beginning of freshman year, I was super shy around everyone, but as soon as I joined the volleyball team, I created so many new friendships that have lasted me over 3 years. Being on a sports team is also one of the many ways I've been able to create such close relationships with people. You're also probably wondering, how did you do all those sports and keep up with all your homework? Well, something Milken offers is called Lishma. Every day after school, we have time to meet with our teachers and go over any questions we have. I've honestly never had a problem with teachers at Milken because they create such a chill and friendly environment, which makes you feel so much more comfortable when asking questions. Usually, my friends and I go a day or 2 before a test, and our teachers just help us with anything we're confused about. Also, sometimes they even do a small review during Lishma for the students who decide to come in, which is always super helpful. I hope you all got a sense of what I love about Milken and why I'm so glad I chose to go here. So now I'm going to hand you over to Mr. Mankuta, who will be introducing 3 alumni who really reflect the diversity at Milken and what it has to offer.
Kayla, thank you so much for your leadership and for being with us this morning. Welcome to all of the prospective students out there. It's really exciting to see you. My name is Ross Mankuta, and while I work with students who are at the school in college counseling and academic planning, I also have the great privilege of working with former Milken students. And I'm going to ask 3 of our alumni, Lindsay, Michael, and Alex, to join us right now and to share some of their experiences and reflections on their Milken experience. So if Lindsay, Alex, and Michael can turn their video on. Good morning to you all. Thank you guys so much for being with us and for sharing your Milken experience. I want to start with a quick introduction for each of you. If you can let our prospective students know when you graduated from Milken and what you're doing now. And we'll start with you, Lindsay.
Good morning. I graduated from Milken in 2011, and I now have a clothing company. It's called Lenny.
Awesome. And Michael?
I graduated in 2013, and now I'm working on a software business that tries to connect students to service opportunities in their community.
Awesome. And Alex?
I graduated Milken in 2003, and now I am a music producer, songwriter, and have my own label, and that's about it.
Well, thank you each for being with us and for sharing your experiences. And I want to kind of really try to relate to our prospective students off the bat. And if you can think back to being a middle school or a high school student, did you have any sense of what you wanted to do? And maybe we'll go in reverse order and start with Alex.
No, I mean, towards the end of high school, I think I started to realize that music was something I wanted to do as a career. But most of high school, I was doing all different types of things. I was playing sports at Milken. I was in mock trial. I thought I wanted to be a lawyer for most of high school, and but I did have this underlying love for music, and really happened right at the end of senior year that I got introduced to the music industry and took my first internship right out of senior year. And that's when I just never looked back.
Cool. And we'll get back to more of your work in a moment. Michael, when you think back to your middle school and high school career, did you have a sense of really what you wanted to do as you got older?
Absolutely not. I had no idea what I wanted to do, even to the last grade of college. When I was in senior year of college was when I actually started to understand what I wanted for my future. And I think it was because of I was actually in this women's entrepreneurship course. I was the only guy in that class. I went to George Washington, and part of the final product was to create a business plan. And this had been on my mind for a long time, but it was something I was just playing with. And I decided to go into it. And then once I graduated, I said, it's honestly interesting. It's fun. It's engaging. It's important. And I pursued it. And now it's 3 years down the line. And, I feel like we're in a great place.
Awesome. And Lindsay?
I had no idea what I wanted to do. My dad definitely wanted me to be in the WNBA, but I didn't want to do that. Fashion. I was always really interested in fashion and some sort of advertising probably, but I didn't really know. Now I'm in fashion.
Kayla talked a lot to the students about all the great things that she's involved in and all the great courses and activities that she was offered. Lindsay, you mentioned being a basketball player. When you think back to your Milken experience, what are the 1 or 2 either classes or maybe activities that stick in your mind the most, that you really enjoyed the most of being a Milken student?
Sports. I played varsity volleyball and basketball since 9th grade, and I loved the sports at Milken. Teachers, I loved all my teachers. I'm still close with like a bunch of the teachers from Milken. My favorite class. I liked AP Lit with Miss Hellman, even though Lit was not my subject. She was an amazing teacher. Any teacher, any class Mr. Holton taught. He was a great teacher. And my friends, I've been friends, like my core group of best friends are still my best friends from Milken. It's like 12 of us.
That's great.
So yeah, they're going to be my bridesmaids at my wedding. So.
Alex, for you, same thing. Kind of when you think back, what are some of those tip-top memories that come to mind when you think about your Milken experience?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, mine are pretty similar to Lindsay's. Soccer was a big part of my life at Milken. A lot of my friends I played soccer with, and that's where music came in because I would make mixtapes for all the kids on the soccer team. Um, I loved my English classes. I had a teacher who's no longer there, Mr. Ayers. He was amazing. Um, Taught me a lot, and I ended up studying English at USC because of him. And yeah, I think, what was the last part of that question?
I mean, activities or like, kind of those Milken moments that come back to you when you think back.
Yeah, I mean, those really stand out to me.
Right. Great. And for you, Michael?
Well, actually, just before I say my answer, Lindsay was a few years older than me in school, and she was like the superstar of all of the teams. We would all, it was one of the most entertaining things was coming and watching Lindsay destroy the opponent on the volleyball court. But for me, I think the most influential course that I took, and one of the most influential teachers, was Miss Cohen. I was in a Jewish law class, and we would just sit down in a Socratic seminar approach, and we would just have conversations. And Ms. Cohen wouldn't even really interject in the conversation. It was mostly the students that were deliberating and thinking about, the philosophy of certain situations. If you have, one glass of water, you're in the desert, it's you and three other people, who do you give it to? And you try to understand that in terms of Jewish law. And for me, it just framed a way of thought and a way of thinking that I took with me into my future, that even now I refer to, and even now I think about. So for me, the most impactful, I would say, from my entire Milken career was the teachers, the great teachers, and the ones that I really was friends with were, for me, very influential.
That's great. And so many of the teachers that you guys mentioned are still at Milken. So for our prospective students, those are people that can educate them and can have the same impact, hopefully, on them as they did on you. And I guess in our closing moments, I'd love to leave our prospective students who are considering a career and an experience at Milken with some advice. So when you think about yourselves at 13, 14, 15 years old, what advice, and we'll start with you, Lindsay, what advice would you have for prospective students who are considering the environment and the community that they're going to choose for middle or high school?
I would say try everything, and it doesn't matter what your friends are doing. Like if you want to do robotics and your friends are like, no, do robotics. Or if you want to do sewing, I just heard there was a sewing class. That's so cool. I wish there was a sewing class. I started a knitting club, and that's not cool, but it's fun. And it doesn't matter what's cool. You should do everything that you want to do, because when you're 32, 52, 28, it doesn't matter what's cool. It matters the experiences you've had in life. And that's what's going to take you to the next level. And so there's so many more things even that we didn't have at Milken. And I want to go back and take advantage of them. So my advice would just be to do everything you possibly could if you're going to be in that environment.
That's great. Michael, advice you have for prospective students?
And honestly, doing what you love or doing what you care about is cool. That's the coolest thing you could do. Advice that I would offer, and it really comes from my experience. I didn't know what I wanted to do at all. I didn't know what I wanted to study. I didn't know where I wanted to go to school. I took more time with that process. And there were times where I thought, am I gonna, achieve and succeed in my life? Am I gonna know what I want to do for my future? And if, the advice that I would offer is just trust the process, that, you will get to a place where you're given an opportunity, and you need to trust in yourself at that point in time to make the right decision for your future. And what you can do right now in preparation of that moment is simply to, as Lindsay mentioned, have as many experiences as you possibly can. Be exposed to as many things as you can expose yourself to, so that when you get in the position where that opportunity does present itself, you know what is the right decision for you and what may not be.
And Alex, any last advice you would give to students?
I mean, I would mirror what both of them said. The one thing is enjoy yourself. Once you start high school, the 4 years goes very fast, faster than you would ever believe. And you got to enjoy every year of it, every moment. Be persistent in the things that you are passionate about. And like they said, it doesn't matter what other people think. If you're passionate about something, you got to go for it. And, just at the end of the day, you got to enjoy yourself. It's an important 4 years to have fun and learn.
Hear, hear. Well, thank you all so much. I wish we had 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or an hour more with each of you to learn more from you. To the prospective students, good luck. Have a great day. I hope this was able to show you some examples of what a Milken experience can lead to. And to Lindsay, Michael, and Alex, thank you guys so much. And
Thank you.
everybody have a good rest of your day.
Hi there, I'm Jason and I'm a senior at Milken, and I'm so lucky to give you a quick look into the life of a Milken student for the next few minutes. At Milken, there are a variety of opportunities available to each and every student, even in a virtual environment. Through and through, Milken is a place where students grow immensely and learn lessons that they will carry with them throughout their entire lives. While a lot of these lessons do come from experience, a lot of learning certainly comes from the teachers. The faculty and administrators at Milken are always willing to help their students in any way they can, and they bring the fun in and out of the classroom. It's almost like they rub off on their students a bit too much.
Why? Need a freak map, why? Need a freak map, why? Need a freak map, why? Why?
Dude, how do you feel?
There is no one kind of Milken family, but we're especially proud of this one.
Baby, come give me something, oh. Baby, come give me something, oh.
Those are the Shanasas. Ethan was great in Fiddler on the Roof with me last year, and Miss Shanasa is renowned on campus. And of course, John, who just so happens to be in my grade, is a highly contributing member of the community and a highly regarded student by both his teachers and his fellow students. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the ADI building, where students study all kinds of art, fashion design, pottery, and architecture. Every year, our architecture students put together a whole city with their designs. It's pretty cool to see. Anyway, take a look.
I got an apartment across from the park, quinoa in my fridge, still I'm not feeling right. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to go.
Here we go.
So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song. Everybody come hang, let's go out with some bang. I'm way too young to lie here forever, I'm way too old to try. So whatever, come hang, let's go out with some bang.
But of course, the real way you choose a school? Cool swag. Over the years, I've amassed a big collection of hoodies, shorts, and more from my time at Milken. Here's just a few of our favorites from our alumni.
Don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now.
Did you know we have an innovation and fabrication department? It's headed by the super friendly Miss Orlick, who can teach you how to use any machine, from a laser cutter and CNC to a heat gun and 3D printer. No matter how crazy the ask, she'll help you figure it out.
What's poppin'? Don't mind me just watching.
And then we have our athletics department. Our star athletes play anything from volleyball to basketball and golf to water polo.
Pose, pose, Jojo. Pose, 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 Jojo. Pose, 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 Jojo, pose, 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 Jojo, pose, 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 Jojo, pose, 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 Jojo, pose, 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 Jojo, pose, 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 Jojo, pose, 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 Jojo.
Well, that's just a quick look at our school. I'm so glad you could join us on this tour of Milken. It's been a blast. I hope you can come see us one day soon. Enjoy your breakout sessions.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Lindy Kaduri, the Director of Admission. As you have seen and heard this morning, learning at Milken can be so much fun. So now's your chance to have some fun with our students and our faculty. You have the opportunity to participate in 2 20-minute sessions with our faculty and students. In the chat, you will see a link to our landing page where you'll be able to choose from 5 sessions. So pick the session that interests you most. Once you've completed the first session, they'll put a link to the landing page to go back to the landing page, and you'll select your second rotation. Please know that the rotations, all the sessions in both rotations are completely different. So pick the session that interests you the most and that you're most excited to participate in. You will be doing a really fun activity. We look forward to meeting you at your interview or on your virtual tour or at another one of our student events that we're hosting later this month and in December and January. So go and enjoy your morning with our faculty. I know you're going to have a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon.